This video is not going to end until I find a 5-star read. Hey guys, what's up? It's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, and if you've come back, thank you so much. Ignore the fact that that photo frame does still not have a photo in it, okay? I'm thinking, if you guys have any ideas, let me know. I will be putting a photo in it soon enough. Anyway guys, today's video is super exciting. It's a long time in the making. I'm filming this after I finished doing this little challenge. I just forgot to film an intro and an outro, so I'm doing it a bit later, hence why my hair looks a little bit different. So I filmed this video for over a week and a half, so there is quite a few books that I got through, and just trying to find a 5-star read that was really good was really challenging. But I'm excited for you guys to see what I read, what my thoughts were on some certain really popular books, and to find out which one of these books got the 5-star, because the one that got the 5-star is just Chef's Kiss, and it's literally one of my new all-time favorites. Okay, so I am gonna let you guys get into the video. It is my birthday today, so I'm just about to go out shopping with my family. So I will say buckle up, get comfy, get cozy, and let's get right on into the video. Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, the 22nd of July, so it's around 7:20. I've just made myself a cup of tea and I'm gonna get back into bed and keep reading. So what I'm planning on finishing today is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, which is the second book in the Crowns of Nyaxia. I never know how to say that. It's the one after Serpent and the Wings of Night. Funnily enough, The Serpent and the Wings of Night was a 5-star read for me. So, I mean, this video could be over literally in the next like 15 minutes, who knows? But I think I have about 100 pages left of this. I'm planning on finishing this off this morning to see. So far, it is really good. It definitely is on the same trajectory as like Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, where Fourth Wing was just like, could not put it down. I was addicted to it. And then Iron Flame was like a bit more of a like longer slog. And I think this is the same. However, I literally like picked this up yesterday morning. I'd read 60 pages the night before, and then could not stop reading all day yesterday, and now I've got 100 pages left. So let's get into bed. I've got my tea and we'll see if this one's gonna be another 5-er. So it is 8:31, so it's about an hour later, and I have just finished The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and I feel really numb because I really love the main characters in this series. It's Rain and Araya. I just like absolutely love them, and I have just realized that there is going to be another book in this series. But it doesn't follow these two. So like the series is called The Crowns of Nyaxia, which I now know how to say because I followed the author on Instagram and I listened to how she pronounced it. So it's The Crowns of Nyaxia, and there's going to be 6 books, but 3 duets, if that makes sense. So The Serpent and the Wings of Night and The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King are part of the Nightborn duet. So that follows one couple. The next 2 books are going to be about another couple, and then the 2 books after that are going to be about a different couple. So it's like interconnected series, but still like all one big series, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of like a little bit sad that like Rain and Araya's main story is sort of done. I know like we're gonna see them. But anyway, let me tell you about the book. I loved The Serpent and the Wings of Night. That book was like, I read it in a day, and it's about 500 pages, I think. And for me to really enjoy fantasy, like romantasy, is like the weirdest thing that's happened in 2024. It's just so bizarre. So I loved that, and immediately I just loved this. Like it was so well done. I find like the way that Carissa Broadbent writes as well is really easy and like gets you into the story, no mucking around. This one was definitely a lot more like fantasy heavy. I will definitely say that. I love, like I said, I love the couple, Rain and Araya. Like sort of how I feel about the Letters of Enchantment duology, Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. I think the romance and like the couple is like a 5-star, but like the story is just not. And that's how I felt about book 2. I still loved the plot and what was happening, and I was definitely enthralled, but it was not a 5-star. It was a 4.25 star for me, but like let me just not in any way, shape or form tell you that I'm over these 2. I'm not over this story, and I'm not over these 2. The ending just, there's something about the way that like romantasy books, they get you in the last like 100 pages, last 50 pages, and I was just in tears, and it was so beautiful and I loved it. and it was gorgeous and it was stunning, but the book as a whole, like I said, was a 4.25 stars. But I'm so glad that I read this series. Like, I love it so much. I hope I'm not going to go into like a book slump or a book hangover now, because I just want to like go back and read Seven Things of Nine. It was so good. First book of the video down, unfortunately was not a 5-star, but was still incredible. Hello everybody. It's obviously considerably later in the day. Just choking on my own spit. It is a full moon tonight, so today, because of like the type of the moon that it is, I wanted to do a nice big cull or start like culling heaps of stuff in my room and do a big clean out. So that's what I spent the most of today doing. I've just changed my like sheets and everything too, so everything is super cozy and comfy and clear for the new month ahead. But it is time to pick a brand new book. So guys, this is so insane to me. I only have 3 books left on my monthly TBR. I had 10 books on my TBR this month, and I've read 7 out of those 10, which is insane. I've got 3 to choose from, but because we obviously just did a romantasy or fantasy, I kind of just want to read a romance after this. Sorry about the terrible lighting, by the way. Anyway, I am thinking that the next book is going to be The Heart Principle by Helen Hoang. Now, this is book 3 in the Kiss Quotient series. I read The Kiss Quotient and The Bride Test over 2 years ago now, I want to say. And for some reason, every time I go to pick this up, I just like forget about it or have like no desire to. But I've heard good things. I'm pretty sure this is about a violinist. Yeah. So I'm excited. I just want to like smash another one off. I'm going to have some dinner with my family, but after that, I'll definitely get into reading it. Howdy friends. I don't know how bad the lighting is going to be, but anyway, I think it's like 9 o'clock and I've just finished dinner with the fam and I'm now going to get into bed and read this. I'm really tired because like I said, I had a massive day today of cleaning, so we'll see how much we get through of this, and I'm thinking I'm going to give you guys an update in the morning. Good morning, besties and friends of mine. It is, I don't know, probably about 9 o'clock, I want to say, the next day. And I have read 115 pages of The Heart Principle. Because I read the first 2 books in this series a while ago, I did forget that these are actually really special books because they all have autism representation, which is really beautiful. But I feel like this one out of maybe all 3 is probably going to be the most like hard-hitting and emotional. Our MMC is a cancer survivor and the FMC is autistic, or she's just recently sort of dealing with that diagnosis when we open the book. So it's really interesting to see their dynamic too, because the MMC is very much like, was the classic bad boy tattoo motorbike rider. Hello. It's really cute how the 2 of them, like their dynamic when they're together is really sweet and really endearing. Basically, the premise of the book is that Anna is a violin player and she's sort of going through a slump right now where she's really struggling to connect with music, and her longtime boyfriend has just said that he wants to basically, before they get married and get settled down, he wants to make sure that he's seen everything he needs to see. He wants to make sure that basically Anna's the right girl for him. So he says, I think we should see other people before we get married. And Anna just is like really taken aback by that, and she's like, what the hell? But she goes, no, you know what? I'm going to go on a dating app and I'm just going to have a one-night stand. I'm going to have a fling with somebody and I'm going to do the same thing that he's doing to me. So she meets up with Kwan, who's the MMC, like I was saying. And just how that like dynamic plays out is so real and so like interesting. So yeah, I'm very interested to see where it does go, but I think it's going to be a special book. So I do have to get some TikToks filmed now, and I do have to do, I'm thinking I have to do my August TBR. Oh my god, it's my birthday soon, you guys. I'm so excited. I have to do my August TBR video, and I'm going to try and do another, just a YouTube video to have up next week. I'm going to Melbourne at the end of next week, which is really exciting. So I need to like pre-record some videos to put up whilst I'm away and don't have my laptop with me. So I'm gonna do that, and then I will update you later in the day to see how we go. I'm hopefully gonna finish this either tonight or early tomorrow. Hello guys. guys. It is 6:05 at night, and I am just over halfway through The Heart Principle. This book is really sad. I feel like what's covered in this is really real, and like I'm really relating to both characters, but there's also just like a plot line in this as well to do with a side character that's really touching, and it's really sad. So I feel like I'm gonna have a nice cry when I finish this. We'll see how we go. Okie dokie, friends and fam. It is 10 to 9 and I have just finished The Heart Principle by Helen Hoang, and I'm so happy now that I can finally say I've completed this little trilogy of like interconnected standalones. What I'll say about this book is that I think it's really special. If you guys do decide to pick this book up and read it, please read the author's note at the end. It makes the book a lot more impactful. I think we should always be reading the author's notes because I think you can always find such interesting little tidbits about, you know, the author's journey and why they've written this book, etc, etc. And I just think it made like what I read in the book so much more impactful. What I will say about this book, for my thoughts on it, is that there's a very heavy plot line in this book, without giving too much away, about carer burnout. And when I say that, it's like when I guess even if you're in that industry of being a doctor, being a nurse, being a carer, or if it's you're actually taking care of somebody who, you know, is in your family and that you love, but it takes like a toll on you as a person. And I think it's really important, the message in this, that even if you are feeling that you shouldn't feel guilt, and like it's okay, and you should never let people tell you to stop complaining if you're like feeling a certain way. Like you never let people disregard your feelings, and I just think that's really important. So I really loved that plot line. I will say this was incredibly bingeable, and I got through it quite quickly. Like I said, I'd only read 20 pages last night, and then I read the rest of this today, and I really liked it. I think there were some parts that were a little bit repetitive, so for that reason, this one is getting a 4-star from me. It is not getting the 5, unfortunately, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. I am super tired, so I think for the moment, I'm gonna leave this here, and tomorrow morning, we will pick the next book to read. Good morning, everybody. It's the next morning. I am about to go for a walk with my mum, so I won't be starting this right away, but I have picked my next book. I just want to say that this is so insane because, you guys, I picked 12 books for my July TBR, and I have read every single one but 2, which is insane. So the next one's going to be from the TBR, and it's called The Plus One by Maisie Eddings. The only thing about this that is turning me off is that like it's in third person, and that makes my skin crawl. I did try to read this last year. I got like a chapter in and just forgot about it. So we'll see how we go. It is nice and short, so you never know. Sometimes these books are the most surprising. So we'll continue when I get back from my walk. Hello, everybody. It's about 5 o'clock, I think, at night. I'm holding a pair of socks. I have had such a crazy busy day. I also just like spent so long updating my reading journal, which I am going to show you guys from now on in my monthly reading wrap-up videos, because basically I made myself like a goal this year that I really wanted to have a little passion project whilst I'm doing all this. And that has turned into me doing reading vlogs, reading journal spreads. So like cute little things like this for like all the books that I read. So I just updated it for the, actually let me show you. Just did my spread for The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King and The Heart Principle, which I finished yesterday. But I'm going to plan on showing you guys these like in more detail when I do my monthly reading wrap up. Also, look at this. I did my entire TBR video, which I think that video will be up before you guys see this vlog, but this isn't even my whole TBR because I've put some stuff away, but I did that video yesterday and I just can't be bothered to put it away. Anyways, what is, however, going to happen, and what I was trying to update you on before I got distracted, was that I just started the Plus Ones by Maisie Eddings. The Plus One, I keep saying the Plus Ones. I didn't realize this is a 3rd book in an interconnected standalone series. I'm pretty sure there's like A Brush with Love and another one, I'll put them on the screen, that come before this book, but I'm sure it'll be okay. If it's an interconnected standalone, like, well. But I did say to you guys earlier in the vlog that I tried to read this last year, and from what I remember, like just reading the first couple of like pages, it starts on a really, really funny note. It like immediately grips you. It's definitely going to be a funny book. It's written very comedically, so I think it'll be a good one to keep me going. But yeah, we're going to read now for at least an hour and I'll give you an update. Hello guys, it's a couple of days later. I want to say I've had a really busy couple of days. My camera is literally on a stack of books right now because I still have not put my books away from my TBR video. So I'm gonna make that a plan today before I finish editing that video. However, I wanted to give you a reading update because, yeah, okay. So the plus ones, Maisie Eddings, I have not picked this up since I last spoke to you guys a couple of days ago, and I think it's because I'm experiencing burnout. Like I said to you guys, I've read 12 books this month, and I think like because I've also just expanded my genres so much this month, romance is becoming quite lackluster to me, and I feel like if it's not like an immediately gripping romance, I'm just not in it. So I think I'm gonna DNF the plus one. It is not the first time that I've tried to read this book. I just like have no desire to read it. It just is really boring. When I go to pick it up, I'm like, oh. And that's how I know if I try to make myself read this book, that I'm gonna end up in a reading slump, and I don't want that. So before I show you the book that I'm gonna read, I just wanna show you guys that I went to the shops, because I know I said I was not gonna buy any more books, but I did because I can't help myself. But I bought 1,000 Broken Pieces by Tilly Cole, which I am so excited to read because you guys know that 1,000 Boy Kisses, I'll just grab it. 1,000 Boy Kisses destroyed me. Oh, let's see what they look like together. Wait, they're so pretty together. They definitely look different. Anyways, 1,000 Broken Pieces, I think is like the sister, like her Poppy's sister. Oh, I don't want to talk about this book. I don't want to. And then I also bought, because you guys know, I've just been loving romantasy. I'm romantasy girly now. When the Moon Hatched, because I just saw Destiny do a reading vlog of like reading the top 10, not top 10, but like the top Goodreads picks of 2024 so far, and this was the romantasy one, and she really liked it, and she said it's very much like similar to like Akamath, like Quantum Mist and Fury. So I think I'm gonna give it a go. It's also not this like as big as I thought it was gonna be. It's 514, and I think I just spoiled the ending. So guys, do I want to read When the Moon Hatched, or do I want to read Never Lie by Freida McFadden? Because I've heard, like, I feel like a thriller, I usually always pick up a thriller or reach for a thriller when I'm in a bit of like a slump, or I like am not motivated to read. But this one sounds really cool, and I remember when I read The Housemaid that I literally devoured it so fast. So I'm thinking maybe I will start the When the Moon Hatched is just calling to me right now. When the Moon Hatched just said, can you please answer me? I'm gonna read Never Lie. I'm gonna read Never Lie, okay? Okay. I don't even know if this is straight or angled or whatever. Never fear, everybody. I love reading again, okay? I love reading again. Guys, the biggest piece of advice that I can ever give you if you are in a reading slump, or you feel like you're about to fall into a reading slump, is one of two pieces of advice, right? The first one is to go back and read a book that you know you love. Go back and read a book that you've already read, and it will reignite your love, or read something you know is going to be exactly similar. Or you completely change genre and you completely change it up, because something new is always going to keep you intrigued. And I always do this. I always go and grab a thriller whenever I'm in a reading slump or about to fall into one. I love this. I am literally 30 pages into this. I was downstairs watching TV, eating some dinner with my family, and I said, I gotta go. I gotta make haste, and I gotta get, oh, sorry. I just realized there's gonna be glare on those glasses from the light. Literally, I had to go. I said, I gotta go because this is so good. For those who haven't like heard of Never Lie before, it's sort of like, so far what I've gathered from it, it is about this married couple who go and see an open house for this property that is like way out in the middle of nowhere. There's no service, there's no internet. Basically, it's like, yeah, good luck getting any service or any help whilst you're out there. Anyway, they go and see this open home, but as they're driving up, like it starts snowing, and obviously we get this huge blizzard. They get trapped inside the house, and they start to sort of discover all these things about who used to live there. That's how much I've gathered in literally 30 pages to tell you that it's immediately gripping and very fast paced and easy to follow. Oh my God. Books like this just make me want to read so badly. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit down now and I'm gonna read for, it's only like 10 to 7, so 5 to 7. So I'm gonna try and read for the next like hour, but honestly, I'm not even gonna stop myself. I'm just gonna keep going because this is what usually happens. Then after I read this, I'm gonna read When the Moon Hatched because I just got a really exciting email about this book. So it is gonna be bumped up the TBR. But guys, I feel good. Do we think it's gonna be a 5-star? I have only ever given one thriller a 5-star before, and it was Verity by Colleen Hoover. The rest have been like 4.5. I don't think I've given one like 4.75, but I don't know, guys. Could this bump Verity out of the top spot? Let's read and let's find out. Good morning, everybody. It's the next day. It is Saturday, the 27th of July. So I think I started this on the 22nd, maybe? I'm not too sure. So it's been quite a few days. I still haven't found a 5-star. However, I fell asleep reading this last night. It was that good. I was waiting for a YouTube video to upload. It's taking forever and it's still like, it stopped halfway through the night. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into it. This is really good. Like, I feel like I'm gonna sit down now with my coffee and I'm gonna just like literally read it all day potentially because it's just that good. So I'll give you an update. Will it be the 5-star? Will it be the 5? I don't know. Hello guys. I am 205 pages into Never Lie and I'm literally just like devouring it. Like I just, every time I read a Freida McFadden book, I just want to go to the shops and buy like all of her other books. They're so good. But I just wanted to quickly do a prediction vlog. So if you have not read Never Lie, I will put a timestamp on the screen for you to skip past it because I'm just going to talk about a prediction that I think I have. And if I'm correct, then I don't know. I think it might be too obvious of a prediction, but this is your warning, final warning to skip to after the spoilers. So I think it's so incredibly obvious that Ethan, who is Trisha's husband, is EJ, the one who was like blackmailing Adrian. I think it's like so blatantly obvious, like, you know, the similarities with like, they both love wine. He just seems a little bit too happy. He has like, he gets really angry when he talks about his parents passing, and like, there was one other thing too. Oh, when they found her body under the floorboards, he's just like not fazed. So it's either, my prediction is either that he is EJ or he has like a twin brother and EJ's his twin brother. That's my prediction. So I'm going to try and finish this. I'm just going to keep reading till I finish because I think I'll finish it in the next hour and we will see what I think. Oakley dokley, guys. I have just finished Never Lie by Freida McFadden and I'm going to tell you what I thought about it. So this is the second book that I've read by Freida McFadden. I read The Housemaid a few months ago, I want to say. And I absolutely love that book. I just think that her writing is like so incredibly bingeable. I literally, like you guys saw, I started this last night, pretty much read all night, fell asleep, woke up this morning and did not stop. It was so good. Like I said, very fast paced, easy to understand, easy to digest, just addictive in every sense of the word. So highly recommend. I have to just say, like, the whole time I was reading this book, if you guys did watch the little like potential theory video that I put in there, the whole time I was reading this book, I thought I was like hitting the what's the note? Like hitting the nail on the coffin, whatever, on what the sort of plot twist was gonna be. I was like, yep, that's what it is. That's what she's hinting to. That's what she's hinting to. And when we actually got to the plot twist, I physically leapt off my chair and I was like frozen. Like I had goosebumps all up my body. It was like insane because what I think she was very clever in doing is throwing you off the scent, right? So the whole time you're going, yep, this is it. So I'm trying to be smart and go, oh, I'm connecting the dots here. I'm connecting the dots to one thing. But meanwhile, the whole time she's actually been telling you what the plot twist is under here very gently. And when I got to, I just lost my mind. This was insane. This was so well done. I really enjoyed it. I will say I just didn't like how it wrapped up. And for that reason there, I am going to be giving this book 4.25 stars. I think, like I said, I was on such a high when we got to the plot twist. I was like, oh yeah, this is better than Housemaid. This is better than Housemaid. But I still think it was incredible, and I definitely recommend. But unfortunately, this is not where our video ends. This did not get the 5-star. I'm so sorry. On to the next book. Whilst we're still here, the next book that I'm going to read, like I said, is going to be When the Moon Hatched. I don't know, guys. I just feel so happy this year with like the types of books that I'm enjoying, because I will always be a romance girl, like through and through and through. I love romance, but sometimes it can get really stale. And through dabbling into romantasy, I just feel like the romance has such higher stakes. Like, I love a good romance, like, but I have been feeling this year that like a lot of the romance that I'm reading is quite lackluster. I have really enjoyed books like, you know, Caught Up by Liz Tomford and The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. Like, those have been really good. They do have like some heavy subplots, except for Caught Up. But every other like plain romance that I've read this year has been really like underwhelming. Through that, have obviously found my love of romantasy. So that's why I'm going to be doing When the Moon Hatched. I've heard some really good things about this, and it is quite new. I also believe that Sarah A. Parker is an Australian author, so that's going to be really exciting to support a local writer as well. I need to put the books away on my floor. Guys, make a counter or a tally of how many times I say I'm going to put the books away on my floor. So I think I'm going to be picking this up later this afternoon, but you guys will see where I'm at in the next clip. Hello everybody. It is around 6:30 at night and I have just been reading, guys, I've been reading When the Moon Hatched for the last 2 hours, and I am currently 116 pages in, and here is my update / my thoughts. I'll definitely say that it's very fantasy heavy, because for me to take 2 hours to read like just over 100 pages is like not like me. I'm usually like 2 hours in, I'm probably around 150 to maybe 200 pages in. But this one just has a very complex fantasy system, world building system. Like it's a lot. It's very intricate, so I will say that. However, I have just gone and gotten my tabs, and that is how you know this book means business, because tell me why I'm 100 pages into this and I'm crying. I don't know how to feel, you guys. Do you want to know what type of book this is? This is a fantasy book. There's dragons, right? We've got assassins, we've got dragons. Do you know how I know this book is going to rip my heart out and tear it into two and rip it up and shred it? The FMC has, I'm going to cry. The FMC has this little paper bird that is like, it's like alive. Like, you know how you make those paper cranes or whatever? It's like that, but it obviously like actually is alive, and it like flaps around and whatever, and is emotionally attached to this paper crane. And when she unfolds the piece of paper that it's made out of, it says, "I need you" on it. And that's the type of book that this is. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? This is going to take me a while to get through, but guys, I'm getting the 5-star feeling. Hello everybody, it is the next night. I didn't get to vlog much today because it's Sunday and I'm just kind of had a bit of like a lazy day. I did do a TikTok live this morning for about 3 hours, and then I just sort of prepped for the week. I took some Instagram photos and stuff, but I do have a reading update on When the Moon Hatched. I'm currently 300 pages into this, so I've just gone a little over halfway, so I'm making a good dent in it. Like I said yesterday, I feel like this is taking me a lot more to get through because it is definitely a lot more fantasy heavy. Like, it's probably the most complex fantasy or romantasy that I've ever read, so it is very intricate in that way. I will say that this book is like so poetic. Like, some of the lines, I just have to, like, they're not spoilers, but I just have to say some of the lines, like, especially in relation to like the romance, because I feel like the romance in this is going to be like earth-shattering. You know what I mean? Listen to this line, ready? It's like, "I catch him looking at me with the intensity of a chapped wasteland, desperate for even a drop of rain, the sort of look that consumes, that clutches heartstrings and braids them together for eternity, forever bonded. Can't he see that my heartstrings are stubby and frayed?" Like, there's so many little quotes like that. I'm planning for this to be my final read of July because it's currently the 28th of July. We've got 3 days left. So I'm hoping that I will finish this tomorrow, but I'm gonna go to bed because I'm super tired and I got a massive week ahead. So let's see. Hello everybody. It is, where's my phone? It is officially, okay, so it is the 29th of July. It's been a week since we started this challenge, okay? And because we only have a couple of days left of the month, this like book here, finishing this, is going to be the catalyst for me to be able to film the rest of the content for the month, right? Obviously I can film my July reading wrap up when I'm done with this, I can do my August TBR, etc, etc, and also potentially finish this video if it is a 5-star. So what my plan is going to be today is I'm quite literally just going to sit on my bed and I'm going to read this until I finish it. So it is 20 past 10. So I'm quite literally, I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to keep reading and reading and reading, and let's see where we end up. I'm just putting in a prediction right now because I've actually just had to calm down. I am like, how many pages into this book? 360 pages into this book. And I was like getting a little bit like, okay guys, like this is dragging out. This is taking a hot minute. And then something happened. I'm in tears. And I feel like this is going to be a book that is like going to destroy me. Like it might be a long slog, but I feel like I may need therapy after I finish this book. I'm just stating it right now. You should have seen how much I was crying before. This book has just lost points for me literally getting a closed door scene. After, throughout the whole book, there is quite explicit content. I'm on page 461 and there was this massive build up to it. Fade to black. Next scene. Points will be deducted. I would just like to say that I'm a clown. Please retract my previous statement. Okay everyone, unfortunately it is the next day because I videoed my like thoughts on this yesterday after I finished the book, but then when I put it on my computer this morning I realized that the footage was like really wonky and really jank, and it just looks like distorted. So I'm gonna have to tell you my thoughts on when the moon hatched now. It is the next day, so I've had time to think on it, which is kind of good. Like I guess I can now give you a more cohesive opinion on like and thought out review on this book. So I am going to start off by saying that this book is not going to be for everyone. And the reason that I say this is that it is so incredibly complex. It is definitely high fantasy. I know that this is like marketed as a romantasy, and the romantic plot is very strong. I loved the romantic plot so much. I think that is what honestly intrigued me the most. If this book did not have such a strong romantic plot, I would have been so thoroughly confused with the actual fantasy plot that I probably would have DNF'd because I just could not understand it. So I definitely enjoyed it. I cried a lot whilst reading this book, as you guys saw in some of the clips from yesterday. I just filmed my July reading wrap up today, and when I was talking about this, I think the biggest thing for me in a romantasy is I need to have equal pull to both the romantic and the fantasy plot lines. Like if I think about books like Fourth Wing and A Court of Thorns and Roses, The Serpent and the Wings of Night, right? They're all romantasy. However, I am equally invested in the fantasy plot as well as the romance, not just one-sided. So I think that's really important. And for this, like I said, I feel like I was always so like wanting to know what was happening with the romance, but every time we were talking about the world and the plot, I was so confused. I literally had to go on TikTok after I finished this to have like someone explain the ending to me. And maybe that's just me. Maybe this was just too complex for my brain, but I just really struggled in that regard. So whilst this was incredibly enjoyable, unfortunately this did not get the 5-star from me. This got a 3.75 and a 2.5 chilies. I may read the next one. I'm not too sure. I just think for the size of this, like it was so confusing. I did love it. That's the thing. And I'm emotionally invested and attached to that little paper bird called Nee. Okay, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So unfortunately our video does not end here. This is not our 5-star read. However, I have just come back from the bookstore and I have picked up one of my most anticipated releases of the entire year. I can't believe that I have this in my hands, and our next book that we are going to start is going to be Play Along by Liz Tomforde, which I'm so excited. Now, this came out on Kindle a few weeks ago and a few of my besties have read this and have given it 5 stars. So a lot of pressure is on. I just finished Caught Up and that was a 5-star. So far, every book in this series has been, except for Mile High, that was a 4.75, but I had just had such high expectations of this. I love Isaiah. I love the tropes in this book. So unfortunately, I actually can't start this probably until later tonight/tomorrow because I have to edit and upload my July reading wrap up, and that's gonna be like a priority. So I'm gonna sit down and try and finish that now because all I'm gonna be thinking about is this. So let's get into it. Good morning, guys. It is, oh, it's the 1st of August. Happy August. So exciting. I just started Play Along by Liz Tomforde, and I'm telling you guys, I'm literally 20 pages into this book. It's gonna be 5 stars. I'm just gonna end the video now because, like, okay, so if you've read Caught Up, you know that we meet Isaiah in the previous book, and how that book ends is like the sort of like teaser as to how this one opens, if that makes sense. So you sort of know that he goes to Vegas. The team go to Vegas for that boys bonding trip, whatever. Obviously Kennedy's with them, and then they accidentally get married. So you know that that's how it opens. But how this book opened is actually, it did a flashback to 2 years ago when she first like signed on to the team to be the athletic trainer or the doctor, whatever she is. Literally, I've been sitting here and I'm just laughing. Like, it's so good. I love these books. They're so addictive. I can't wait. I'm gonna keep you guys updated. Hello everybody. I am 113 pages into Play Along, and like, I'm just gonna say this right freaking now. This is gonna be 5 stars and it could potentially be my new favorite in the entire series. I am like so obsessed with this. It's just so good. Like, I think what also is so great about this book is obviously we got an introduction to Kennedy and Isaiah in the previous book, so like getting to their book, like I sort of know who they are as people, and their dynamic is just so good. And the way this man, like, she's saying all these insecurities that she has and she's expecting him to react to them in a certain way, and he just completely like throws her a curveball. I just want to say, this is a very slight spoiler, but it's not really. Isaiah is colorblind, right? And I just got to this part, this man, because her hair's red, right? And he has this particular like type of colorblind where he struggles to differentiate and like see reds. He sees them as greens. Anyway, he got one of the like players to tell him what color her hair is, and he memorized that exact shade of red, and he said nothing else has ever been that color of your hair. So no matter what he sees that color as, he's never seen it any other color like that ever. I just know this book is gonna destroy me, so let's keep going. It's update time. I am halfway through Play Along now, officially. I feel like I'm gonna finish this today. I'm gonna be so for real with you guys. I was planning on taking this to Melbourne, because I'm going to Melbourne tomorrow, but I'm just devouring it. And like, if I didn't have stuff to do, I've got to edit my August TBR, but if I didn't have stuff to do, I probably would sit and read this all day. Isaiah Rhodes. I need a big boy. Can somebody let me know where I can find a man like this, because I'm just unwell. Liz Tomforde, you will be receiving my therapy bill. I like am so emotionally attached and like invested. I still need to put a photo in that frame. I'm so like emotionally attached and invested in all of these stories, not just like I feel like with a lot of interconnected standalone series, I like really just love like one particular couple and I love them and I like the others, but like I feel like every single couple and character, like even from their previous books, I'm so attached to them, and whenever they get like brought back into the story, and I don't know, I'm very emotional, and like the bit that I'm crying at is not even to do with the main couple. I just am in tears because, you know, sibling relationships are so beautiful. You know what I mean? Okay, that's enough. Boy, why you so obsessed with me? Boy, I wanna know. That is gonna be in my head for the rest of my life. Okay, let's set this camera up. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to finally say that we have found our 5-star read! Woo! I'm choking on my head. Oh my god, you guys. Finally, after a week and maybe like a week and a half of reading, I have finally found my 5-star read. Guys, like I said to you when I started this book this morning, I just knew, like I instantly got that 5-star feeling. It was just like, it started out with such a bang and I just knew it was going to be phenomenal. Let me get my phone. Before I like even tell you about what I thought about this book, if you have not read the Windy City series before, I urge you, please pick it up. It is just, every single book in that series is 5 stars. It is phenomenal. I'm so incredibly attached to these characters. They literally feel like my family, okay? I can't explain it. Liz Tomford has become one of my new favorite authors and she has literally only written 3 books. Correct me if I'm wrong, okay? This was so good. I can't even put it into words. The way this started out and immediately 20 pages in, I was giddy. I was kicking my feet. I was rocking and my mom's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, this story, this was such a great waking up in Vegas, drunk marriage turned into like marriage of convenience. And like this MMC, I have no words. I'm still processing, okay? I was crying, I was screaming, kicking my air. My wife, if you love my wife as much as and I was just crying. I particularly want to say how much I love the relationship between Kai and Isaiah and everything that they go through. If you've read Caught Up, you know they are brothers. Yeah, I have literally no words. I'm not going to rank this series yet in terms of my favorites because I feel like I still need to process this, but this was a 5-star. Like I said, started it this morning, have already finished it. Could not put this book down. It was amazing. I love the story. I love the characters. The plot was like incredibly gripping, the spice, everything. I'm going to give this a 5-star and I'm going to give it a 2.5 chili spice because it was just so dang good. This has become a new all-time favorite. I just love it so much. I can't believe we got the 5-star. Alrighty, you guys, that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking through right to the end. If you have, I really appreciate every single one of you. I do also want to say a massive thank you. I did just hit 1,000 subscribers, which is insane. I know how incredibly difficult it is to grow on YouTube, so I appreciate every single one of you spending time with me and coming back and supporting me. It honestly just means the absolute world. What did you guys think? If anybody's planning to read Play Along, let me know. I just loved that book so much and the more I think about it, it's insane. I've been listening to Obsessed by Mariah Carey like on repeat since I finished that book because oh my god, that man, so good. Have you guys read any of the books that I read today? Let me know what you thought about them in the comments down below. If you don't already and you would like to, feel free to follow me on TikTok and on Instagram. I will leave my @ on the screen. And of course, if you aren't already, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel and make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you are notified every time I put up a brand new video. Thank you guys so much again, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a lovely day or a lovely night and I will see you all next time. Bye!